Hello, everyone. This is Rocky Erickson with Montana Sports. Today's Frontier Conference update is sponsored by D.A. Davidson. You know, it's difficult enough to be a college athlete in one sport, but two, well, that's extremely rare. But Abby Clark, a senior from Fort Benton, is up for the challenge this school year. She'll once again compete in track, plus add volleyball.
I think volleyball's always kind of held a soft spot for me, and my mom has always been kind of bugging me like, oh, you should try to play volleyball. I was actually kind of recruited by Brian Solomon, the volleyball coach, out of high school, but just because of the COVID year, they had all their seniors coming back for their additional year of eligibility, and there just wasn't any room. So I started with track, kind of realized I missed it, and reached out to Brian, I guess actually last fall. I was like, hey, you need a practice player? And he said, oh, I don't do practice players, but come talk to me. And he kind of found out that I am able to high jump like 5'6", 5'7", and he was like, oh, yeah, I think we could use you. So it's kind of funny how it worked out, but I was practicing with them in the fall last year and in the spring, and it just felt right. It's a lot to add to my schedule, but it felt right.
Miss Abby Clark, a two-sport athlete at Montana Tech and an engineering student. She tells us how she spent her summer in South Carolina.
So I'm studying materials and metallurgical engineering. Kind of a mouthful, but essentially one of my professors says that we make the stuff that stuff is made of. So there's always raw materials coming from a mine, and then the metallurgists actually process that and turn it into a product. I guess we make the metal that mechanical engineers can machine. So it's kind of just, we're kind of the middlemen, essentially. But this summer, I was an intern at Nucor Steel Berkeley, in Berkeley County, South Carolina, and I essentially just worked on optimizing the steelmaking process. They recycle steel, so they melt scrap metal and then cast it into these big slabs and roll it into sheet metal. So
that's far more complicated than being a sportscaster. And what does Miss Abby like best about Montana Tech?
Well, I love that it's a smaller school, and I do have opportunities like this to compete in two sports, but also have a department and professors that really kind of understand who I am as a person and understand that sports are important, but also support me in those endeavors, and being able to study something that I want a career in, but also be able to have collegiate sports as an option.
Miss Abby Clark of Montana Tech, one very impressive young lady.